Close to 100 cameras from around the world and 3 times as many reporters. They come from everywhere, from the local weeklies to network news.
When I lose the sense of motivation and the sense of to prove something as a basketball player, it's time for me to move away from the game of basketball.
October 6th, 1993. The United States was shaken by a shocking announcement. Since his arrival in the NBA, Michael Jordan had established himself as an idol both on and off the court. In 1993, the number 23 had just won his 3rd consecutive championship. The Olympics had turned him into a global icon, and nothing seemed capable of stopping his rise. And yet, mentally exhausted and devastated by the murder of his father, Jordan made an unthinkable decision. At just 30 years old and at the peak of his career, the Bulls shooting guard prematurely ended his legendary journey.
You don't have to love the Bulls to love Michael. You don't have to love basketball. You don't even have to love sports. Michael was larger than basketball, larger than sports, larger than life itself.
As the 1993-94 season approached, the Chicago Bulls found themselves in an unusual situation. The franchise had just won its 3rd straight championship, a feat achieved only twice before. At the forefront of this success, none other than Michael Jordan. But now, the legend was gone, and the Bulls had to return to the court without him. In Chicago, it was time. Time for the man who had long been overshadowed by Michael Jordan. Time for Scottie Pippen to take the reins. While America was in turmoil during the 1960s, nothing particularly remarkable was happening in rural Arkansas. This conservative, sparsely populated southern state had been thrust into the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. In 1957, 9 African-American students attempted to enroll into a white high school. The violence they faced became the cornerstone of the American Civil Rights Movement. It was in 1965, in a small, forgotten Arkansas town, that Scottie Pippen was born. A man no one, absolutely no one, expected to become famous. Raised in poverty and racism in a large family, Pippen grew up with a father and a brother who were both disabled. Basketball became his escape. A starting point guard, his reputation barely extended beyond the sparsely filled stands of a small high school. With no scholarship offers, Pippen enrolled himself as a walk-in with the small University of Central Arkansas. I didn't have any scholarship offers, and there were times I wasn't even thinking about basketball. I just wanted to be in a positive environment and have a situation where I could lead a good life. Basketball ultimately gave me that. Now standing at 6 foot 8 inches, Pippen shined on the courts of his university. In his final year, he averaged 23 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. But there was a problem. His team played in a low-profile competition, followed only by a handful of insiders.
The guy the fans come out to see, and probably the most outstanding basketball player in the Arkansas Intercollegiate Conference, is the Bears center, Scottie Pippen.
In 1987, after 4 outstanding seasons in college, a miracle happened. Little by little, some NBA scouts had fallen in love with his game. He spoke out before the 1987 draft. Some people come to the NBA, make a lot of money, and don't ask for more. I want to come to the NBA and make a name for myself. I want to be a model player, someone who is respected and admired. With the 8th pick in the 1987 NBA draft, the Bulls believed they had a clear path to selecting Pippen. However, rumors began swirling about growing interest from teams with higher draft positions. Without hesitation, Jerry Krause negotiated a trade with the Seattle Supersonics. It was the best individual workout I'd ever seen. The quickest, longest armed, most tremendous lateral quickness combination in the game. We had to get this guy. The Seattle Supersonics ended up with an obscure center, Alden Polynice, while the Chicago Bulls secured Scottie Pippen.
That's right, folks. You probably have never heard of Scottie Pippen.
Scottie, 1 year ago, if somebody said you were going to be the 5th player taken in the draft, what would you have told them?
I would have told them probably that they was joking, you know, really.
Technically, the Seattle club took him for us, and then we acquired him.
You know, Chicago is a great franchise, and probably every player that's sitting on the audience wants to be a part of the.
I'm looking to go in and play probably the 3 position, but someday I want to be able to work my way into the point guard position.
Have you met Michael Jordan yet?
No, I haven't met him, but I think that when we get the chance to meet up, then we're going to work together.
The forward joined a rising Bulls team led by superstar Michael Jordan. Though his early years were challenging, his encounter with MJ would change the course of his career forever.
I was established. He was kind of in the back scenes of things. And when his skills started to evolve and mature and people started to expect bigger things from him.
Taking the rookie under his wing, Jordan found in Scottie Pippen his first true on-court partner. While Jordan thrived under pressure, Scottie Pippen, the Arkansas native, embraced his role as a trustworthy second option. In 1990, a migraine against the Pistons proved costly for Chicago. But by the 1990-91 season, Pippen had transformed into the Bulls' defensive anchor and a versatile weapon in Phil Jackson's triangle offense. While Michael Jordan was undoubtedly the key to the Bulls' three-peat, their second best player was, without question, Scottie Pippen.
Shocking revelation tonight for all Chicagoans.
Sources with the Chicago Bulls have confirmed that Michael Jordan will announce his retirement effective immediately at a Wednesday morning press conference.
Having to lose someone to death. I mean, we definitely lost someone who's inspired us and thrilled us.
It would not have been honest for me to tell Michael that I thought he should continue playing, because I don't believe he should continue playing. He's come to a point in his life where he needs to go and do something else.
That left the Bulls with several key challenges and question marks about the upcoming season.
It's a great opportunity for ball players that have wanted larger roles on this team to step up and fill some shoes. Scottie has now stepped out of the shadow of a great figure, and he's now got the light all shining on him.
We just got to put the story behind what happened to Michael and go on. I mean, our lives goes on, the game goes on, basketball goes on.
Since joining the Bulls, Pippen had always lived in Jordan's shadow. But as the 1993-94 season approached, the media widely agreed Chicago now belonged to Scottie Pippen. He had turned to basketball to escape poverty. He had reached the NBA against all odds. Now he had the chance to prove he could lead a team on his own.
Everybody wants to be like Mike. You want to be like Mike? You want to be Mike?
No. I want to be like Scottie.
Pippen the rebound, Bulls on the run. 3-on-2 for Scottie to Grant.
Gives it right back to Scottie. Butler pushes off. Scottie double
Pump underhand. Shot blockers at 5.
It's a one-on-one move by Scottie Pippen, and he hit
For the rebound. Scottie took it away. Here's the three. Oh, Scottie. Pip on the wing. Three. Oh, gigantic three, Pip. Big time. His third three tonight.
Averaging 22 points, 8.7 rebounds, and 5.6 assists, Pippen's first season without Jordan was nothing short of brilliant. Though often overlooked today, that year saw him finish third in the MVP race. More impressively, the Bulls won 55 games, just 2 fewer than the previous season with Jordan. When the playoffs arrived, Pippen's Bulls didn't slow down. After sweeping the Cleveland Cavaliers, Pippen was on the verge of something historic, proving that Chicago could still be a championship team without Jordan. But then...
1.8 seconds remain, fourth quarter. Knicks and Bulls tied at 102.
In the second round of the 1994 playoffs, the Bulls faced an all too familiar foe. Throughout the 1990s, Chicago and New York built a bitter rivalry. Led by Patrick Ewing, the Knicks had repeatedly fallen short against Jordan in their quest for the NBA Finals. For New York, 1994 was their golden opportunity. Jordan was gone, and the door to the finals was finally open. But then, Scottie Pippen proved he didn't have Jordan's unshakable mentality. On May 13th, 1994, with 1.8 seconds left and the score tied at 102-102, disaster struck for Pippen. Phil Jackson, the Bulls head coach, drew up the final play, not for Pippen, but for Tony Kukoc. Pippen was given the role of inbounding the ball. Pippen, who had embraced the leadership role for the Bulls all season in Jordan's absence, was devastated by Jackson's decision to deny him the final shot. In protest, the forward refused to check back in, choosing instead to stay on the bench. Sure, Tony Kukoc hit the game winner, but the victory felt hollow. Pippen's status as the team's leader had crumbled in an instant.
Scottie Pippen was not involved in that play. He asked out of the play. I left him off the floor. That's as much as I'll talk about that, and we have practice tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Did you want to be in at the end?
I would have liked to.
What took place last night was just astounding, and it certainly could be his legacy when we look back.
His first season without Jordan had been a massive success. Yet in just one moment, it all fell apart. The man who was supposed to prove himself as a leader had instead lost his credibility by refusing to play. By May 20th, 1994, Phil Jackson's squad found itself in deep trouble. Down 3-2 in the series, Chicago was on the brink of elimination against New York for the first time. This was it, a do-or-die game in one of the NBA's fiercest rivalries. For days, the media had been relentless in criticizing Pippen. The only way to erase that moment of shame? Rewrite the story with something unforgettable.
Davis. Oakley rejected by Grant. Myers for Pippen. Oh, a faithful Scottie Pippen in the face of Patrick Ewing, who did not appreciate it.
That was the Bulls' answer to John Stark's spectacular dunk last year. And he hovered over Ewing for a second, and Patrick didn't like it, as any player wouldn't like.
I remember that dunk. I think I was so frustrated to play before that I didn't get a foul or something, that I felt like I could touch the roof and sort of just walking all on top of him. And I said something that I wouldn't want to repeat here.
It's almost like down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. That's what everyone at home was saying. Down goes Ewing. Down goes Ewing. And Scottie knew exactly what he was doing too, because to stand over him and look at him in basketball, that's the worst thing you can do. That's not nice, Scottie. That's not a nice thing.
Yes, I definitely feel that's the most disrespectful dunk. And still, Patrick Ewing, do not speak to me because of that dunk.
You got it right.
Pippen's dunk over Patrick Ewing remains one of the most disrespectful plays in history. As he soared through the air, it was as if Pippen was taking revenge on everyone who had ever doubted him. But he wasn't done yet. After throwing down the dunk, Pippen shoved Ewing to the ground and stood over him, towering over the Knicks star. His next target? Spike Lee. Pippen walked straight over to the Knicks' biggest fan and told him to sit down.
I had never ever had any interplay with an athlete before like that, ever.
Though this moment became one of the most iconic plays of the 1990s, it was still New York that reached the NBA Finals. And despite all his talent, Scottie Pippen never fully thrived as a #1 option. After leaving Chicago, he would never lead a team to a championship. The harsh reality is undeniable. Pippen shined brightest in Jordan's shadow. But while he may have been more Robin than Batman, that didn't make him any less of a superhero. In this episode, we set out to highlight Scottie Pippen through his most legendary moment. A brilliant player too often overlooked. Let's not forget the amazing impact the Arkansas native had on his sport. Yes, Scottie Pippen's name is written in NBA history. And unfortunately for Patrick Ewing, it was written on his head.